What's going on, guys? It's Al with Coops Car Correction, and I am going to do a quick little demo of our Graphene Pro ceramic coating system. Before I get into it, I want to have a few disclaimers. The quality of your ceramic coating is going to be 80% dictated on the level of your preparation. This truck was brand new. It's got like 200 miles on it. The owner did a very good job of taking care of it, not putting any scratches in it, and just keeping it clean properly until he brought it here. So this truck so far, it received a nice hand wash, a 2-step decontamination, which would include an iron remover and then clay bar to get anything embedded to the paint, glass, all that. And then since there was really no scratching, I just did a nice machine polish with a soft pad and a fine finishing polish. And here we are. I've already prep sprayed all the truck except this panel right here, which I'm going to be doing the demonstration on today. But I will tell you this much: if your car has a lot of bad swirls, oxidation, throwing a ceramic coating over the top of that really is going to amplify those defects. It's going to make your surface bead water and protected, but it's not going to look correct. It's not going to look good. And to do it properly, like I said, it's all based on the prep work. So spend the time or pay somebody to do like a paint correction or polish on it before you decide to put a coating on. Unless your vehicle is brand new, but like I said, even a brand new vehicle like this, I still at least do a machine polish and clay bar, iron remover, all that good stuff. So anyways, the two products I will be using today is our panel prep 16-ounce bottle and our Graphene Pro ceramic coating, and this is a 50 milliliter bottle. There are kits available on coopscarcorrection.com/shop. You can get them in a couple variations. Anyways, what I'm gonna do first, like I said, this whole truck has already been prep sprayed except this panel. So when I do the prep spray after I'm done polishing and all that, I start from the top down. So I'll go around and I'll prep spray the roof, bed line, tonneau cover, all that good stuff, whatever I'm coating, and I work my way down and kind of work in a circle. So I am going to spray this panel. You could use it pretty liberally. This stuff flashes pretty quick and it's gonna dry up, and using too much really isn't gonna hurt anything. So I usually have 2 towels, one to wipe up the the bulk of the product, and then I'll use my cleaner one and just kind of buff the haze away. You want this, this panel as perfectly clean as possible before you get this coating on to make sure it adheres to the panel well. You get a good level finish, and you don't want to be when you're applying it, you don't want to be dragging debris across the panel and maybe putting scratches in it. All right, so the panel is all prepped. It's dry, there's no film on it. Let's see if you could see, perfectly clean. So now, what I really love about our Graphene Pro is you can work a big area with it, especially once you get familiar with the product and you have some experience under it. I like doing a full panel. From what I have learned of all the the coatings I've done, the bigger area you can do at a time, the more even the more even finish you're gonna have. Sometimes you run into streaking, and on dark colors, if you do half a panel, sometimes you could see where you start and finish if you don't do it correctly. So like I said, from my experience, the bigger area you do, as long as you don't let it dry up or miss spots, you're gonna get a lot better finish. But But for the video, this sake of this video, I'm gonna do this half a panel. So, first things first, make sure your bottle's good and shaken up. When I take this cap off, you don't wanna just leave it out with the cap off because the coating in here can start to crystallize, dry up. You don't wanna do that. So what I'm gonna do, especially this being a new applicator, there's not any ceramic coating saturated in there, so it takes a few times to prime your pad. So this first driblets I'm gonna do on here, I'm gonna really soak it up just because the pad's not primed. All right, like I said, replace the cap. What I'm gonna do is I like to just kind of smear it around a little bit, and now I'm gonna go one way up and down. Get the plastic. Now I'm gonna cross hatch it. So this might not be the best color to see it on, but on certain lighting, you should see it's starting to rainbow. Now, you don't want to let it completely dry and rainbow up and leave high spots is what we call it. But when it starts to, the rainbowing starts to disappear and you can kind of check it with your finger and it's not so sticky anymore, it's good to start removing, which, depending on your climate in your shop, it doesn't take too long. So, this is still a little tacky, it's a little bit longer. Okay, pretty good now. So I'm gonna take my suede cloth. I'm gonna go use this. And I'm gonna get the bulk of all the excess off. What seems to work best for me, from my experience, is going perpendicular to the way you finished applying it. So I finished applying it parallel to the ground. I'm gonna start going this way to remove it. Just from my experience, it's easier to do that. So I got the bulk of it off with the suede, which, most of the time, that's all you need is just a suede cloth. But from my experience, I don't like missing any spots. And I got plenty of towels, so, I'm fine with using extra towels. I'm gonna use a plusher towel now to kind of just buff it just to make sure I didn't miss any spots. And also a good thing about using a plush towel like this is you don't have to be, put a ton of pressure on it, and it's a lot harder for you to scratch the surface with a plusher towel. These suede towels are awesome, but you can get a piece of dirt on it pretty easily, so you just gotta be mindful of that. So that's pretty much it. Now I'm gonna go along and finish the rest of this bed, go around and do the whole truck, but it's not rocket science. The more you use the product, the more familiar you're gonna get with how long to let it sit. Like I said, it all depends on the setting of your shop, the temperature, the humidity. but you shouldn't really have to fight to get it off. You shouldn't have to press really hard, and if you feel like you're just smearing it around, you didn't wait long enough. And if you feel like you're pushing really hard to get it off, maybe you waited too long. So, all right, so this truck all coated, and now I'm going around and IR curing this just to get it cured up faster, which you do not have to do. The regular installer DIYer, after you coat it, you'll give it about 12 to 24 hours inside controlled temperature to let it set up. And what I like to do is after it's cured, I'll go and take our ceramic topper detail spray, and I'll kind of use that and put a little application on that as like a top coat, ceramic topper. And I also use that to kind of just double check everything, make sure everything's set up nice, don't really have any high spots, everything's even, no smudges, all that good stuff. But for IR curing, it's pretty standard, 15 minutes at 60 degrees Celsius. Pretty much all coatings are, that same spectrum of curing. But 12 to 24 hours after you're applied, and like I said, throw a top coat of that ceramic topper and it'll look awesome and you'll be ready to go. That's it. So I got one last tip for you guys. The towels that I use to level off and remove this coating, after I'm done, I'm throwing them straight out. The reason being, these are gonna have dried up ceramic coating on them once it sets up in a few hours or the next day, and I'm not going to run the risk of using these same towels on a vehicle and putting scratches in it with this dried up ceramic that could be on these towels. So if you're worried about not having enough towels, just buy a few extra. I'm telling you, the few dollars you spend on extra towels is well worth it to make sure you don't end up putting some scratches or swirls in a vehicle you just polished or coated. So that's my little last tip. When you're done, applicator, towels that have dried up ceramic on them, pitch them out. Don't worry about it. That's pretty much it. If you got any other questions, feel free to send a message, comment, look us up on the website, call us, whatever you want. But I hope this gave you some good info, and I look forward to you trying out our Graphene Pro system on your vehicle. Thanks.